Skechers does the wings. It's what is it? It looks like an H for their kind of carbon fiber plate in the Skechers shoes, but I don't think we've ever seen. And we are back the day after Christmas. I hope everyone had a great Christmas. Oh my. It's amazing. The year is winding down. A few more shoe reviews to squeeze in. Actually, it's interesting. Is this the first 2022 shoe to arrive? I think it might be the first 2022 running shoe. Definitely the first 2022 trail shoe to arrive on the scene. So I hope you're resting with your family, with your loved ones during this time. I know I am, so here we go. Let's dive into the HOKA TECTON X full review. Okay, there's the mileage on your screen. Anything over 25 miles for a trail shoe qualifies for a full review. All right, let's do the twist test from the outset. It's twisting, but not a ton. I'm putting quite a bit of force into that, just so you're aware. I will say this is the first carbon fiber plate trail running or racing shoe from HOKA ever. All right, first carbon fiber plates in their midsoles. All right, 4mm drop. And now this is early specs. I believe these are accurate. 33 in the heel, 29 in the forefoot. But just keep in mind, not too many people have this shoe yet out in the wild. Okay, so there's the specs on your screen for the drop. Weight, women's size 8, men's size 9. Let's turn on the scale. I think we're looking at low 8s in my size. Let's confirm real quick. Yes, indeed. This is saying 8.2. I think I said I had 8.1 on the other scale over there. Now, the score is not as high as you might expect, because that's actually a pretty solid weight for a trail racing shoe. And why is it not as high is because I am putting it into the trail racing category. And yes, I went back and reviewed the Salomon Pulsar full review. Actually, I'll try to remember to link to it down below. That was the shoe I raced in for the Pikes Peak Marathon this past year, and it is, I think it's like 5.8 or 5.9 ounces, very lightweight, which is why it got an incredible score. I think I gave it a 9 out of 10 for my full review. So this is a trail racing shoe, and I will let you know what distance I would race this shoe at here in a minute. At least my initial gut reaction. I haven't raced in it yet because there's no trail races happening this time of year in Colorado. Not too many, at least. So there you go. There's my weight score. Moving on to that upper. We're looking at a jacquard mesh. Very mock-esque. If you like the mock upper, I think HOKA has really dialed in and honed in on their upper construction. It is semi-gusseted, not as stout. Okay, I thought it was a little more stout, but I tell you what, they nailed the collar, nailed the heel pocket, nailed the heel tab, nailed the tongue. It's just awesome. So there's my lockdown score. I think get 9 out of 10. Solid lockdown score. And overall score also awesome. I'm trying to think of a drawback. I mean, okay, one perhaps, but okay, there's a little bit of an overlay through the toe cap here and the toe box, but more the toe cap. I don't foresee it keeping a ton of mud and water out. So if you're going to be racing it, but at the same time, I've leaned in the direction these days of more so of draining. So if you have too much of an overlay through the toe box, it might keep more of the water in once your feet get wet. Because once you get wet, you're wet, and you want that water to drain out of the shoe. At least that's been my approach recently, even though I do live in a very dry climate. So anyway, overall, I'm pleased with that upper and that lockdown. We're looking at a ProFly X midsole. It's a soft EVA compound, okay? It's dual density. It's got the soft top layer with a lighter and more responsive bottom layer. And the one word that jumped out at me, there's my ride and energy return score, awesome, was lively. That was the word. The first run I took was lively. So how are they pulling it off? There's 2 parallel carbon fiber plates running from heel to toe, okay? Is it time to open up the midsole? I would not be shocked if you see that on the YouTube channel. I am very interested because I'm trying to think, because Adidas does the carbon rods, right, that go out and splay out underneath your metatarsals, and I'm trying to think of another, and then Skechers does the wings. It's what is it? It almost looks like an H for their kind of carbon fiber plate in the Skechers shoes, but I don't think we've ever seen two parallel carbon fiber plates, which creates what they're calling kind of the suspension system. It gives you maybe a little more stability out on the trails as you're negotiating over the rocks and roots. And I will say, I don't know when I was going to mention this, but I'll mention it now. I did not feel unstable out on the trails, even though there's a little more propulsion happening underfoot when you're out running. And again, I haven't raced yet, but I would, yeah, gosh, I mean, I did take it up to higher speeds, not for long distances, but I did take it up to higher speeds and it didn't feel unstable. So that's good, you know, a pretty wide landing, all right? Okay, let's move on. Overall score, 8 out of 10. Outsole, Vibram Mega Grip with this light base construction. What does that mean? Basically, they're I'm just gonna say sticking, or it almost seems like rolling out this Vibram Mega Grip onto the outsole in a way that doesn't require as much Vibram material, which drops the weight of the outsole by 30%. That is great, HOKA. I'm always concerned about weight, especially in a trail racing shoe. So that's awesome, awesome. Good work there on that. So great score for the outsole. I don't know if I've given such a solid score for an outsole for a trail shoe in quite some time. Fit, true to size, no issues there. Oh, I will say, I love a snug fit for a racing shoe. So your pinky toe might press on this outer wall ever so slightly, but it's just perfect. Like, you just feel so secure, which is why the fit score is solid for me. I would prefer a little more snug rather than too much room in that toe box for race day. All right, comfort score, pretty standard. Pretty standard. All right, it's not plush, and you're not supposed to be incredibly plush for a racing shoe. Positives, oh, this was hard. I went with the lockdown. This was a hard one. I almost went with the Ride and Energy, but I gotta say, they just keep nailing that upper. It's Mach-esque. It's Mach-esque, okay, as far as that feel over the top of the foot. Drawback, ooh, we'll come back to that in a minute. Durability prediction, 350 miles. That's a little tough to figure out because it is a racing shoe, but I'm gonna go with 350. I think this midsole is gonna hold up, actually. Now, what will be the long-term benefit of those carbon fiber plates, since it's their first trail shoe? Not any shoe. First trail shoe with carbon fiber plates, it's a little more difficult to make that durability prediction, but I'm going with 350. Okay, here we go. Moving on to how will I use this shoe? Who is it best for? This is interesting. And they kind of connect together, so we'll just lump it together. I don't know if this is going to show up on the starting line for 100-mile races in 2022, but it might. It might. I'm going, though, with 50K to 50-miler. Notice I did not say how will I use this shoe marathon trail races. Nah? Yeah? Okay. 50K to 50-milers. Will it be at the 100-mile distance? I bet it will. But I don't know if it'll be on the pro elite HOKA athletes. I don't know if it's too lean through that midsole, okay? And for me, it's just not quite light enough for a trail marathon. For me, all right? There you go. All right, I'll leave it there. Price point, ooh, this is tough, and it is my drawback, $200, okay? But I guess I would pay it again. I really would. Like, that's, I'm pretty excited about this shoe. It is pricey, but keep in mind, road racing shoes with carbon fiber plates, that's a pretty standard, it's kind of standard at this point, more like $225, but $200 for a trip, it's like, they can probably charge it, is what I'm saying. All right, we'll leave it there. Oh man, other shoes to buy. It rides crazy enough. I don't know if it's here. It rides like the Fuji Light 2 a little bit, which is why I love the Fuji Light 2 so much. And there's actually the weight of the Fuji Light 2. I believe it's 8.8 ounces in my size, Fuji Light 2 from ASICS, and this is 8.1, 8.2, so pretty similar weight. This just happens to have carbon fiber plates in there. And so Fuji Light 2, I love that shoe. And I think that shoe will show up on a lot of starting lines in 2022. All right. So, and I'm not going to really put the Pulsar because the Pulsar is so much lighter. It's just so much, and it doesn't have carbon fiber plates. If I had to say, okay, I would say responsive for the Tecton X. Did I even say the name yet of the shoe? The HOKA TECTON X. I think it's a play on tectonic plates, all right? I think is what they're going for there. Is responsive, Pulsar, bouncy. Responsive, Pulsar, bouncy. I'm surprised. Oh, sure enough. Come on now. Never doubt. There it is. There's the Pulsar. Oh, we love that shoe right there. Throwback to Pikes Peak, okay? So, moving on, lastly, to shoe quick specs one more time for the HOKA TECTON X. Soak it in. All right. Jacquard mesh. Just loving it. ProFly X midsole and that Vibram Mega Grip light base rubber. Hopefully I didn't miss anything. 7.8 out of 10. Almost in the 8s. Ooh, it was close. It's moving in. Ooh, that's a good score. That is a good score for any shoe, but especially a trail shoe. 7.8, moving in the right direction. So, excited. I would buy it again, is the bottom line, everybody. All right, comment of the day, question of the day. Here we go. I think I'm pulling, I decided to pull this from the ASICS Fuji Light 2 full review. All right, Jana, am I saying it right? Jana Durakova. We'll go with that. I had the first version of this shoe, the Fuji Trabuco Light, and I really love that shoe. Everything you talked about fits for that one too. They did some tweaking there, probably made it even better, which makes me very excited because I was afraid I wouldn't find the first version anywhere when it's time to replace them. Jana, you get the comment of the day. Thanks so much. And that question of the day, think to the future, 200 years down the road, what would you like to ask one person, one question in 200 years from now? All right, so they're like living in the present. So what would that be? Oh my goodness, 2,221 roughly. 2,000, oh my, that's crazy to think about. 2002, what would you ask that person about what's happening in the future? One question, you only get one. There you go. Thanks for tuning in. We'll toss it to the HOKA. Actually, you know what? No, we'll toss it to the Trail Matrix from 2021. Trail Running Shoe Matrix from 2021. Right there, right there, right there. You better believe this will be in the Trail Matrix 2022. All right, onward and upward. Seek beauty, work hard, and love each other. See you tomorrow.